How's it going? I thought I'd do a bit of a different everyday carry type of video today. The other day I had cause to go to a wedding, which meant I was wearing a suit and a bow tie and a tuxedo vest thing and slacks. It's probably once every 2 years sort of thing to get me into those sorts of clothes. And it got me thinking when we're leaving the hotel room and I went to grab my usual EDC of things, that perhaps you need to make some concessions when you go to these sorts of shows. Perhaps when you're going out to a black tie function, you need to put yourself maybe at the mercy of the assumption that you maybe aren't going to be running into your standard everyday carry type tasks, such as opening boxes and fixing small things with your pliers and that sort of thing. Maybe when you go to an event like that, you put yourself at the mercy of fate and carry a bit more of a minimal kit. Because if you don't, I found that your suit begins to look all lumpy and you look like you've got concealed objects all over your nice svelte suit jacket, which sort of defeats the purpose of, in my case, hiring a very expensive suit. And if you ask me, not to sound funny or anything, I think a bloke looks better in very few other things than a suit. I think a suit that is fit right on a fellow can look quite cool. And I was in the process of looking cool until I put on my usual EDC. And it was the same EDC that I've showed you in recent videos, consisting of my Maxpedition pack and a wallet and my keys and a couple of Leathermans and things. And then I came to the realization that I was going to have to streamline my system. So this is what I've done. And I think it's probably a fun little activity for all of you prepared people out there to perhaps think, what am I going to wear next time I have to go to a function, and by wear I mean carry, in terms of my EDC, which I suppose is an oxymoron for an occasional event. So it's not EDC, it's more of an ODC, occasional daily carry or occasional equipment, or there's probably a term that you could coin for that. So I thought I'd go through what I decided for mine. And the last thing is it'll probably end with a handy little review on a cool little knife I've got which fits into this exact role. So here we go, let's get started. What I used to carry, or what I usually carry more like, is a Leatherman. Now this Leatherman Juice CS2 is fairly compact. It's about as compact as a full-featured Leatherman gets. When I'm around home, I'm carrying a Leatherman rebar. When I'm on the block doing work, and these are my everyday carries. There is always one of these two tools in my pocket. Got a little clip on there. This doesn't need a clip. This just sits comfortably at the bottom of my cargo pants pocket. Both things are too bulky for a suit pocket. My torch. You sort of have to accept that you may be at the mercy of street lighting when you're going out, if the alternative is carrying a torch of this size in a suit pants pocket. When you start dancing, there's going to be a strange cylindrical object pointing directly at your crotch, and it's going to be your mag light. I decided against that very quickly when my wife pointed it out. You may remember this. This has been retooled for everyday carry at an occasional event. Now, what are the sorts of challenges you're going to meet, perhaps going out on the town with your wife? Well, you're not going to be opening boxes, that's for sure. You're not going to be cutting rope or twitching wire. You're probably going to be doing emergency dress repairs. That is something that's happened to us, and that is why hotels have these little emergency sewing kits. So that is one thing I have kept. I've got rid of the paracord, I've got rid of the cable ties, I've even got rid of that cool Batman bandana. Replaced it with a handkerchief, which I think is a bit more fitting for the occasion. So if you look here, I've got some basic things to fix and meet the challenges of a night on the town. So I've got my sewing kit, I've got some paracetamol, acetaminophen, whatever you know your basic pain reliever as, for when perhaps someone I'm with has a bit too much to drink or forgets to drink enough water and gets that headache. I've got a small torch, which could really ride in the pocket. It's Leatherman, Leatherman sort of. It's the lead lens of P3. great little torch. And then I've got some band-aids. More band-aids than usual because you know why? You're going to be walking to wherever the party is, and the person next to you's feet are going to start hurting, and she's not going to have them in her tiny little clutch bag. So this is where the fellow can really save the day. And isn't that what EDC is all about? Saving the day. This is where you can really save the day and make her feet feel better with your cavalcade of band-aids. And lastly is a lighter. Not that I smoke, but you're going to come across someone who's smoking, who says, "Oh, does anyone have a lighter? I left mine inside." And once again, you can save the day, whilst at the same time shortening someone's life. Ironic. So that will ride in a inside suit pocket. That is really thin and soft, and it doesn't stick out, but it's still almost more than I'd like to carry. But it's the only container I've got, so that's the way it stands now. My wallet, I'm not carrying the big Buffy Maxpedition. I've just got a little leather bifold, very, very small. Has just my ID and a bank card in it. My keys are the same, because these are the sorts of things, the challenges you're going to have to meet. You'll notice I've dropped the Leatherman Style CS, because this has scissors in it. If I do need to do a bit of tag cutting or loose thread cutting or anything like that. And it's got the nail tool and little tiny knife blade as well. The tweezers rather, yeah, you can always have tweezers. They're so small it doesn't matter if they're on there or not. So the keys aren't any different. And this handkerchief. It's a white handkerchief. You could fold it up smartly and pop it in your top suit pocket. And it's an EDC item that you can wear blatantly. And it's fantastic. Million uses for a handkerchief. Most likely for wiping the sweat off my brow when I start dancing. Because I have a few drinks. 4 drinks is my limit. And then I'm dancing. And then everyone suffers. Especially me, because I ruin my body with sweat. So that is my general EDC. And that brings me to the new item I've got as my primary. Oh, and remember, unless you count the tiny knife blade on the classic there, my primary and my only knife. And isn't it a knife? Look at this. Wow, isn't that cool? This is a blue aluminium oxide Victorinox Cadet. It arrived in the post today, and I am very happy with it. Look at that. Look at that blue finish. What a cool knife. And there is nothing better than a brand new Victorinox. These especially because, I mean, the red plastic looks nice when it's new, but that is just shiny and amazing looking. The blades, as yet unused. Still very sharp, very shiny. There's me. Hello. That snap. Amazing. This one's got a little bit of nail stuff as well to complement my classic. That's fine. I would prefer that over the little secondary blade I never used. It's got a bottle opener because you're going to be opening someone's bottle, perhaps not at the main show, but at an after show when you're at a bar. Bottle opener and the can opener, which is just a Victorinox go-to, isn't it? They're never going to make one of these tools without a can opener, are they? I mean, I'm sure they have, but there you go. So the Victorinox Classic, what a great little occasional main blade. And by occasional I mean for special occasions. And you know what? I'm guilty of, my plan actually is getting a few of these in primary colours and matching my wife's dress. How cool is that? How slick. Because the way I've started to see little knives like this is a bit like how my wife will buy earrings. I might buy a nice little knife to carry. Just every now and then, just to change up my little occasional load. I'll always have my go-tos, I'll always have my Leathermans and my, more industrial type knives, but I could really, really get to collecting a few of these. Isn't that cool? So, that's my occasional special EDC. Stripped of the big folders and stripped of the little scissors and stripped of the big Leathermans and stripped of the paracord wraps. Just the very basics to see you through the challenges that might await you on a night on the town. Thanks very much for watching.